Hi, this is Michael Orrell from MobileBurn.com, and today I'm going to show you the Motorola DROID RAZR. It is a hot new 4G LTE device for the Verizon wireless network. It's available later this month for $299.99 on a 2-year contract. So here's the DROID RAZR, and the most obvious feature you see when you look at the device is the beautiful display. It's a 4.3-inch QHD resolution display. That's 540 pixels by 960 pixels. It's also Super AMOLED Advanced, so it's an AMOLED display that has really good blacks, really bright colors. Doesn't quite have the oversaturated look that Samsung typically has on its own AMOLED devices. So in terms of hardware, you can see we got a forward-facing 1.3 megapixel camera, some sensors up there, touch-sensitive controls down at the bottom for menu, home, back, search. There's also a microphone pinhole right there. Device weighs about 129 grams according to my scale. It's a couple grams heavier than what Motorola claims. 7.1 millimeters thick though. That rings true by my calipers. It's a really thin device, and you can see on the left hand edge here we have a door that opens up to reveal the micro SIM and a micro SD memory card slot. There is a 16 gig card pre-installed. You can put cards as large as 32 gig in there. On the back of the device, Kevlar coating. This is really cool. It looks nice, feels nice, kind of soft touch to it. Really attractive, just great design. Now the back cover does not come off though. This is a sealed device, and it actually has a nano coating over all its components, internal and external, to make it splash resistant. So again, can't remove the rear cover to get to the battery, but the battery is large. It's 1780 milliamp hour, which the company claims is good for 12.5 hours of talk time or 8.5 days of standby time. Also see 8 megapixel main camera on the back with an LED flash that's capable of recording 1080p HD video, which is pretty slick. On the right hand edge, we've got the power standby button here with a kind of a brushed metal look, and then there's a volume control, a little bit low down on the edge, lower than you would expect to find. Top edge, where the bulge from the camera is, you can see that we've got micro HDMI ports and micro USB ports, as long with the 3.5mm headphone jack. Nothing too much to see on the bottom of the phone. One of the things you can't see by looking at the device is that it's Gorilla Glass on front, which is going to make it extremely scratch resistant and strong. It's also a 1.2 gigahertz dual-core TIO map processor inside and 1 gig of RAM to make sure everything's working nice and speedily. When it comes to connectivity, the DROID RAZR has a lot to offer as well. It's a 4G LTE device, and I've seen download speeds in the 5 to 8 megabits per second range in my area, which doesn't have the fastest 4G LTE speeds on Verizon's network. I expect I could see a lot faster in maybe the corridor heading between Philadelphia and New York, for example. Otherwise, we've got Wi-Fi 802.11b G and N, Bluetooth 4.0, also compatibility with Motorola's lap dock accessories that turn this into kind of a netbook. See tethering and mobile hotspot support, VPN support, and of course it runs on Verizon's CDMA 3G network as well. In addition to the 16 gig memory card that comes pre-installed in the device, you've also got 8 gig of internal storage and almost 2.5 gigabytes of application space as well. Now before I start jumping into all the user interface aspects of the device, I want to show you the lock screen, which I find to be quite interesting. Of course you can unlock the device just by swiping left, but you also have quick options for turning on silent mode or not, and quickly launching the camera, all from the lock screen. So here's the main home screen of the DROID RAZR. You can see it's got Motorola's cool contacts widget here. It pulls in all your favorite contacts. Just swipe down or swipe up to open it up. If I press the home button here, you'll see we have 5 home screens to work with. I can tap on any of them to directly switch over, but of course you can always swipe back and forth. You can see we've got some scrollable mail widgets and things like this. Inbound messages here, I can remove a widget, and then you can resize most of Motorola's widgets as well, which is pretty cool. Hit the back button to save it. Up here in the notification area, see we've got a couple messages came in. There's a new AIM message as well as 2 text messages. If I don't want to clear out all the messages that are in the notification area, I can just tap here and get rid of one of them and then save this one for a later time, for example. I can jump into the messaging application to see the universal inbox. You'll see a mix of text messages, like this one right here, by my thumb. It's a text message. You can see the new AIM message that came in as well. You can, of course, go to individual inboxes. So say we'll go into text messaging here, and we can see the thread we've got going with one of our test accounts. Tap into the input box here, and I can demonstrate how the swipe keyboard works. Here's a reply. Send that off. As is mentioned in the one message there, you can change the font sizes. Also, you can go into landscape mode. I'll pull up the menu here. It has a resize text, and I will pick largest. And you can see we have nice large fonts to read. I'm going to jump into the main menu. It's a sideways scrolling paged view for the menu. You have the ability to move into different groups, such as recently launched applications or custom groups that you've defined, such as the utilities group I have here. I'm going to go back to main for now, and I'm going to show you that when you long press on an item, you get a menu of things you can do. You can add it to a group, so I'm going to add this to the utilities group and just quickly demonstrate that it works. You can see it right there, IM. I'll long press on it and remove it from the group as well. Now I'm going to long press again, and I'm going to add it to the home screen. And you can see it just filled in that blank spot I made there. Another feature you're also going to like here is the ability to hide things. You can't uninstall the carrier apps, but you can now hide them, which is nice. So that flash settings has now been removed. If I pull up the menu and go hidden apps, I can see them all. You can see I have a few of them put in here hidden. Can unhide it easily enough. And there it is, back on the main menu. While here, let's jump into the email application. You can see I can switch accounts quite quickly. I have Gmail and AIM both defined here. I'll pull up this new message. Also works in landscape mode, of course. Multi-touch zooming. Can move from message to message. Go back to the main menu, and I will pull up Gmail instead. And I should mention that Gmail is not part of the universal inbox. It's not integrated with all the other messaging apps that are on the device. Here's Gmail. Let's go into the menu and pull up one of the labels. I'm going to go to starred. That way I can just quickly find something, some formatted text. See what it looks like. Jump into contacts, and you can see some of our test contacts. Index tab along the right hand edge, so you can quickly jump from one letter to the next. Here's the calendar. You have a couple of different views, such as agenda, week, and day. Calendar events are pulled in from a Google account, also can be pulled in from an Exchange account, just like the email client can also pull an Exchange email. This is Motorola's social networking application. I've got Facebook and Twitter accounts pulled in. When I light that up, it'll just show things that are directed to me, such as mentions in Twitter. Jump into the browser. This is a full WebKit browser, of course. The dual-core processor with flash support does pretty well here. Things render pretty quickly and operates pretty smoothly. See flash support built in there. Can open multiple windows. And we'll go into bookmarks just to pull up something else here, say Wikipedia. There's a bookmarks widget as well. You can see it scrolls, and you can tell it which bookmarks in specific you want in the widget. The IM client supports AIM, Windows Live, and Yahoo messaging. Take a look at the Smart Actions application that Motorola adds. It's kind of neat. Allows you to have things triggered based on location or time, or say what the device is doing. Even whether it's moving or not. This is a night mode one I have defined, so when I'm not charging and the display's off and it sits still for a while, then it'll turn down the brightness and GPS and things like that, so it'll save battery overnight. Also have one here that just automatically launches the music player as soon as you plug in the headphones. And to demonstrate it working, I'm going to plug in the headphones here. And you can see the music application has been launched. I'm going to go into My Library, and you see all these tracks here, and the great thing about this is it's using the Motocast service, and it's actually playing these and accessing them off of my home PC. I don't have any tracks actually installed on the device yet. I should still be able to play them. Jump back to the home screen. Music controls here in the notification area. Lock the device and see if we have any on the lock screen. And you can see right there, we can see what's playing. Doesn't appear to be any controls though. Motocast can also be used for accessing photos and videos as well. Even with a gig of RAM, occasionally you're going to want to kill off an application, so you can use Motorola's Task Manager for that. For example, I can tap on IM there and I can end it, or I can put it into the auto end list, which will automatically have it killed off when it's running in the background. Launch the camera. We'll take some sample photos of this Dean Karnazes book we've got. We received this at the Droid RAZR launch. Camera's pretty speedy. You can see it has autofocus abilities. It starts focusing as soon as you sit still. Also has geotagging abilities. You can move these controls out of your way if you want to get rid of them. You can also get access to all the settings you need. Switch to forward-facing camera easily enough, and back. And switch to video mode too. This is a quick demonstration of the 1080p HD video capabilities, and I've got the image stabilization system on, so you might see a little bit of the wobble as it tries to smooth it out. We'll record another one without it, and you can see the difference. And here's another test. Go into the gallery. Pulls in photos from your social feeds, but you also get just those of your own as well. It's a sample video I shot in a pet store. And here's a still photo, 8 megapixels, LED flash. Camera works pretty well. And here's the speedtest.net log, and you can see some of the test runs I've had in various locations. These runs were all at my house. You can see I almost got to 6 megabits per second, and the LTE coverage in my house is very, very weak, so that's pretty impressive. I expect I can easily hit 10 elsewhere in the neighborhood. So that's my look at the Motorola DROID RAZR for Verizon Wireless. It goes on sale this month for $299. Pretty expensive, but all of Verizon's LTE devices have been pretty pricey so far, and this one has just absolutely fantastic hardware. It's fast, it has great components, it has great materials, and ridiculously thin. It's just a fantastic device. About the only thing you're going to run into a problem with is potentially battery life, even with the large battery, and that's just, the LTE devices are all battery hungry at this point. So there you have it, the Motorola DROID RAZR for Verizon Wireless. I'm Michael Orrell from MobileBurn.com. Thanks for watching.